I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a week in my pocket bullet journal, and you will have to forgive any background noise because it is officially autumn and I live in the Vancouver area and it is raining nonstop. I was looking at the weather forecast and the next week every single day is raining. But anyways, I just decided to film my planning process in my pocket bullet journal for this week. And just as a little bit of context for anyone who's new, my pocket bullet journal is kind of like a companion to my main planner, which is my Hobonichi cousin. In my Hobonichi cousin, it is a lot more functional. I write down my exhaustive to-do list and also my daily journal entries, but my bullet journal is just more of a creative outlet and kind of just like there whenever I need it. So that's why I call it a companion planner. I also kind of let it run continuously, so I don't necessarily start a blank page with every week or every day or anything like that, which is why when I started this video, I already had this like little entry about a haunting in Venice. This is a story based off one of Agatha Christie's novels, and as a big Agatha Christie fan, I just had to go watch. But yeah, anyways, for Monday, right off the bat, you can see this is like not a traditional bullet journal spread. I did first mark down 3 of the deliveries that we were expecting. Mondays are typically our biggest delivery days because anything that is like moving over the weekend gets delivered on Monday. But then underneath, I created this sort of flow chart. I don't know if that's the right word, or kind of like a timeline of my day, because I just had so many things going on. A lot of things were kind of like fighting for my attention, and I wasn't sure which thing I wanted to go first and in which order. So that's why I kind of created this timeline. And this actually was really helpful in just like, you know, tackling things one at a time rather than hopping between different things. So again, not a traditional bullet journal spread, but it's just like what I needed on this day. And this is what I love about this little pocket planner. Moving on to the next page, I first wrote down the Tuesday header, but then I also realized that I wanted to do a habit tracker for this week. Obviously Monday was already over by this point, but it was still early in the week, so I decided to do a habit tracker anyways. So I drew 5 icons. The teardrop is for marking going to the gym or working out. The X sort of thing is for limiting my sugar intake. The moon is for marking sleeping over 6 hours, which embarrassingly, this is the one that I'm having the most trouble with. The heart is for doing something related to one of my hobbies. And then this new icon is supposed to be the French flag. Obviously, it's not colored, so it's kind of hard to tell. But it's just to mark practicing French. So I just quickly filled in Monday, and then I got started with my Tuesday list. I made a section for my absolute priorities, so things that I definitely wanted to finish, and then also a section for things that I ideally wanted to finish, but it's okay if I don't. This also wasn't my entire to-do list for the day. I had my exhaustive to-do list in my Hobonichi cousin, but I just wrote down the most important things. Then on Tuesday, I also bought some groceries, so I just felt like doodling some of the things that I got. I really try to keep my bullet journal fun when I can, and just like doodling little things that are typically mundane about my life just makes me really happy. Then moving on to Thursday, you can see I had a little bit of a brain glitch. So I did skip Wednesday in my bullet journal this week just because I didn't really need it. And This is another great thing about bullet journals, is that you can skip a day or 2 days or a week or a month, and it doesn't really matter. You can just keep going. But yeah, for this particular week, I skipped Wednesday, and because I was like following Tuesday, I just kept thinking that it was Wednesday, and you can see I messed up the number and the day of the week. But yeah, I just kept going. On Thursday, I had a French class, so I put down this little yay emoji, and then I just made a priority list for prepping new releases. And this is again what I use my bullet journal for if I need like dedicated lists for certain subjects, like for example new release prep. I just do it in here because it's a lot more focused. The new releases was on Friday, so that's why the prep was on Thursday. And then in the little corner with some white space, I doodled a washi tape, some stickers, and also an emoji head. All right, moving on to Friday. This was the day of the new release, and I think I made this entry in the morning. I can't quite remember, but I started off by using my pencil to divide up the page, and you will see later that I actually ended up just erasing this line, so that was kind of useless. But anyways, I started off by putting down this emoji head to mark in new releases at noon Pacific time, and then I wrote down my to-do list for Friday. Then I picked out a bunch of Tombow dual brush pens, and they're mostly like browns and ochre colors. And they're supposed to represent the colors of raisins, because so every Saturday my mom and dad drives over to my sister and my brother-in-law's house to visit my nephew, and I don't join them just because I tend to have a lot of things to do on the weekend. And I just go over whenever I personally have the time. But anyways, they always go every Saturday, and it's kind of become a tradition where I bake something every week and then they'll just bring it over. So for this week, I decided to bake some oatmeal raisin cookies. And so yeah, I wanted to write down the recipe that I used, and it's actually really hard to draw oatmeal raisin cookies. Like, I don't know if that looks like an oatmeal raisin cookie, but I tried my best. And I made a bunch of quote-unquote typos when I was writing down the recipe, but it's okay because it was just for me to use. I let the recipe span over the 2 pages, and I also ended up erasing the pencil lines because it just like wasn't serving any purpose and it got in the way of the recipe. And that was basically my Friday, nothing too exciting. Moving on to the weekend, I first created this little banner and I wrote down a list of things that I really wanted to get done on the weekend, mostly household things like vacuuming, meal prep, recycling, stuff like that. And this isn't like allocated to either Saturday or Sunday, it's just in general, whatever I get done on whichever day, that's fine, but definitely on the weekend. Then I just hand lettered in Saturday and I made the note that my mom and dad were going over. And then I just proceeded to write down my to-do list for Saturday. And I think that's really it for this video. I didn't film Sunday because this video is going up on a Sunday. But yeah, as you can see, I just take a very relaxed approach with my planner and I try to keep it fun. I know a lot of you have told me that you were inspired to grab a pocket bullet journal for next year, so I do hope you enjoy using it as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye and take care.